Hi, happy Monday. Dr. Crystal here with your Monday motivational moment. I hope you guys are off to a great start to your week. I know for me, it is sunny and bright here in the metro Atlanta area, so I am feeling pretty good today. This morning, for your motivational moment, I want to ask you guys a question. How are your thoughts? What are you thinking? And I don't mean the on the top, on the surface. Oh, what am I going to have for lunch? I wonder if it's going to rain today. Not those type thoughts. I'm talking about the thoughts that determine whether or not you're going to move forward and fulfill the dreams and the desires that you have, or the thoughts that are paralyzing you, right? And preventing you from moving forward. Proverbs 23:7 says, as a man thinketh, so he is. And today, I just want to share with you guys, and I promise I will not get super excited, but my inner nerd just may come out because I'm going to talk a little bit about the brain and thoughts and, how all of that ties in together. So if you've heard me teach before, you've heard me talk about the truth model, right? And I am a firm believer in Philippians 4:8. I apply it to my life in every situation, but it talks about thinking on what is true, what is right, what is pure. And I often use the analogy of this wooden desk, the old-fashioned wooden desk that they used to have in the classrooms. So if you take a child and on the first day of school, you sit them in that desk and you give them a pen and you tell them to press firmly in one spot. And you tell them for 5 minutes every day to do that when they initially come into the classroom. By the end of the year, that slight line will have formed a deep indentation. And that same thing is true when it comes to our thought life. When we think on something long enough, when we think on something hard enough, good or bad, it forms a trace. It forms what's called a memory trace. And that's how we begin to view the world. So everything that looks like or seems like that thing, remember, good or bad, that's how we view that situation. And there's something called a quantum Zeno effect. QZE, right? And that's just scientific that ties into what I'm talking about right now. But basically, the quantum Zeno effect, QZE, simply states that if we think on something, if we repeat a behavior long enough, it becomes a natural instinct for us, right? It becomes a part of our unconsciousness. So think about driving a car. You get in and you go. Whenever you sit in there, you don't think, okay, right foot, hit the brake, right foot, give the gas, take your hand, shift the shift. Those thoughts don't come through our mind because we've done that action over and over and over again. Now, back when we were teenagers and we were learning how to drive a car, of course, we may have repeated that to ourselves over and over and over again. But it's the repetition that's now become a part of our subconscious. And, as many of you may know, all of our daily actions are controlled 95% by the things that are living in our subconscious, right? So what I encourage you guys to do today is to begin to think about your thoughts. Think about your thought life. And when you find yourself giving into that negative thought or allowing that negative thought to surface, don't brush it aside. Don't just shove it down. Pause. Pause in that thought and ask yourself, why am I thinking this? Ask yourself, what is it deep down inside of me that's causing me to think this way? And then when you can capture that, when you can figure out what that is, that's when you have to begin to redirect that thought. You have to find the positive that contradicts that negative so that you can begin to think on and act on the positive thought so that it eventually supersedes and suppresses and kills the negative thought. So again, I ask you, what are you thinking, right? So my motivational moment for you today is a challenge for the week. Watch your thoughts. Be mindful of your thoughts. And when you find yourself thinking negatively, thinking that, oh, I can't do this, oh, I could never achieve that, ask yourself why. Dig deep down, find the root of what's causing you to believe that way, and then find something that's positive that contradicts that negative. Because God intended for each and every one of us to be great and to live in abundance. So stop limiting yourself with your thoughts because we each have the power to control our thoughts. So this has been Dr. Crystal. I hope you guys have a great week.